How did your perfect daughter-in-law finally break? My sister-in-law Catherine was the type who'd show up at 6 a.m. with fresh coffee to drive dad to dialysis, while the rest of us were still sleeping off hangovers. I'd watch Catherine cancel important work presentations just to manage dad's medications, and she had this huge tech job that paid 3 times what my brother made. The thing that killed me was how she'd just smile when mom told guests her cooking was almost as good as a real family member's. When mom and dad's 40th anniversary came up, Catherine immediately volunteered to plan everything, even though she was in the middle of some huge work merger. She spent her entire bonus on the party while my brother bought himself a new gaming setup. I remember her sitting at the kitchen table with color-coded spreadsheets at 2 a.m., personally calling each guest because mom said email invites were tacky. Every time she begged, could someone please help with the slideshow, my brother would suddenly need to check his fantasy football, and my sister would remember an urgent nail appointment. 3 days before the party, I was sprawled on their couch when my brother headed to shower, leaving his phone on the coffee table. Catherine picked it up to forward herself a vendor contract, and I watched the life drain out of her face. She found this group chat called Dealing with Catherine, and her whole body started shaking. The first message she saw was from 2 hours ago, my brother writing, "Can't wait until this party is over so I don't have to pretend she's not insufferable." Her breathing got weird as she scrolled back through months of messages. My brother's text saying, "God, she's so desperate and pathetic it's actually sad," was liked by everyone. Mom had written paragraphs about how Catherine's perfect act made everyone uncomfortable, and how she wished my brother had found someone who knew their place. My sister's messages were the worst, making fun of how Catherine probably cried herself to sleep because nobody actually loved her. Catherine's face was completely white as she took screenshots, and when she saw a message from last Christmas where they all laughed about the gifts she spent weeks choosing, a tear finally rolled down her cheek. She placed the phone back exactly where it was, and when she looked up and saw me watching, she whispered, "Please don't tell him I know," before going straight to the computer where she stayed until 3 a.m. The night of the party, Catherine looked stunning in a dress I later learned she'd bought specially because mom once said she never dressed appropriately for nice events. She was greeting every guest warmly while holding back tears, and I was the only one who noticed her hands trembling as she tested the microphone. During cocktail hour, mom grabbed dad's sister and started her performance, loud enough for everyone to hear how Catherine had tried so hard, but just didn't understand real elegance. My sister practically shouted, "She always overdoes everything. That's exactly why nobody can relate to her," while staring right at Catherine. I watched Catherine's smile never waver, even as her knuckles went white, gripping her laptop. Catherine's voice cracked slightly as she announced the tribute video, and for a second I thought she might cry. The lights dimmed and everyone settled in, ready for the usual sappy montage. The first slides were wedding photos that made everyone go, "Aw." Then the screen went black before "Dealing with Catherine" appeared in massive letters. I heard someone gasp and a wine glass shattered on the floor. The silence was suffocating as my brother's message filled the screen. "God, she's so desperate and pathetic, it's actually sad." Mom shot up, but the slides kept advancing automatically, showing her text about wishing my brother had married someone normal, who knew their place. Dad's golf buddy started recording while the neighbors sat frozen as my sister's message appeared about Catherine crying herself to sleep because nobody loved her. Mom screamed, "Turn it off right now!" But Catherine stood perfectly still between her and the laptop, tears finally streaming down her face, but her head held high. My brother's face went purple while his boss read every word from 2 tables away. The final slide stayed up for 15 seconds. My resignation from this family, effective immediately. Catherine closed the laptop with shaking hands, then walked out in complete silence without her coat because she'd already given the valet her keys. Mom lunged for where the laptop had been while guests started fleeing without making eye contact. The room emptied like there was a fire, leaving just family staring at each other. The party was supposed to go until midnight, but the place was empty in 20 minutes. That was 4 months ago. My brother lost the house completely. Catherine vanished to Seattle and blocked everyone from even finding her.